nerds, what's up? Today we are doing a video about Netflix. I have been watching a lot of Netflix. Way more than I should be when considering the fact that I don't have a lot of time on my hands and I should be reading books. I decided that I wanted to do some binge-worthy Netflix series, and this was actually an idea that I got from Kelly over at Kelly's Book Spill. She just recently filmed this video. It's not going to be a fact of the day today. It is going to be a couple announcements. I recently hit 3,700 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. I love you guys and I'm so happy that you're here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that's the reason you subscribed. I don't know why else you would. That's really exciting. Unfortunately, with my life that's happening right now, being in my last semester of college and working and just I've decided that once again I'm going to go down to only one video a week. I will guaranteed be uploading on Thursdays now. I will still try to film 2 videos per week if I can. Because I'm only going to be uploading once a week, I am only going to be doing bi-monthly hauls and wrap-ups because one, it's not a very exciting life that I live anymore because I haven't been buying many books. I didn't buy any in February actually. Proud of myself. And also that I haven't been reading much because of school and work and stuff. And because you're only getting around 4 videos a month right now, so I don't want to bombard you with a bunch of hauls and wrap-ups when you're only getting 4 videos to begin with. So that is going to be a thing. So you will not be getting one for February, but you will be getting a March, which March is also my birthday at the end of the month. So that haul should be probably very large and exciting because birthdays. Let's do this. First off, I have to mention 3 of my favorite television shows that all have seasons on Netflix. They're all by the same creator, Shonda Rhimes. So if you know what TGIT is, you know what I'm talking about. And it is Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. All 3 of these shows are phenomenal. How to Get Away with Murder is the newest TV show, so it only has 1 season on Netflix and it is currently in its 2nd season on television right now. It's about a woman who is played by Viola Davis. The premise of the show is that she's a lawyer. She teaches Law 101, which she calls also known as How to Get Away with Murder, because they go through all of the different ways that you basically get a murderer off while you're defending them. And she picks these 5 students to help her with real cases, so it's really good. I really enjoyed it. There's mystery involved. Scandal is the next show that I just mentioned, and Scandal has 4 seasons on Netflix and it is in the middle of its 5th season on ABC. The main character is played by Kerry Washington, who is gorgeous, and this show is a political show. It's about Olivia Pope, who is a fixer. So she has a crisis management firm. They basically help people get out of a scandal when they are important people in the world. It's so good. There's so many things that happen in that show that make me worried about real life because it's politics. Grey's Anatomy, which has 11 seasons on Netflix. It is in the middle of its 12th season currently on ABC. The main character is Meredith Grey, played by Ellen Pompeo, but there is a whole cast of characters. It is a doctor show, so if you've ever seen a doctor show, you kind of know how this goes. Many different characters, many different cases, all happening per thing. Especially towards the beginning, you get a lot of each episode starts and ends with one case. There's lots of emotions because people are dying, people are getting better, and miracles happen, and lots of sex happens too. The doctors are all having sex with each other, and sometimes they're having sex with patients. I love all of the different character dynamics and character relationships that you see throughout the season. I also really loved watching Reign on Netflix. I believe there's 4 seasons on Netflix currently right now. Maybe there's more than that, it might be 6. It is about the time frame when Mary and Queen Elizabeth were fighting for the throne. It's kind of a historical fiction about that time frame. It's got an evil king in it, and it's got an evil queen in it. It's got political fighting, it's got war, beautiful costumes. Even though the costumes aren't exactly accurate for the historical fiction time frame, they still are phenomenal, and I really love them. It feels like you're watching Gossip Girl, but in a historical time frame. That's what the costuming feels like. If you ever watched Gossip Girl, you probably know what I'm talking about. Loved it. Speaking of a show to watch on Netflix, Gossip Girl, that's another one that I would highly recommend. That's all about these kids who are in high school. They're all foo-foo rich. It has really good costuming, so if you just want some eye candy to watch, it's really good, and it's really, really over dramatic, so if you like being intense like Pretty Little Liars, that could be your thing. Charmed, which is an older show, think around Buffy the Vampire time frame. It is about 3 sisters that are witches, and they are this magic trio that can fix the world, sort of a thing. Like, their magic together, the 3 of them, are stronger than anything else that the generations have seen since the past trio that existed before this. It's set in the current time frame that it was made in, which was late 90s, I believe, so like the costumes are really interesting. I was rewatching and I was just like, oh, that was so in, but why was it ever in? If you watch Pretty Little Liars, Arya's mom is one of the main characters. So if you've never watched Charmed, then there's a little snippet for you. The 100. Now, we're on BookTube here, so you've probably heard a lot about the 100, but there are currently 2 seasons on Netflix of the 100. It is glorious. Our planet died because of nuclear radiation, and there was a group of people from all of the different countries that went up and started living on a spaceship, and then eventually all of the spaceships came together, and then now they're just like one giant spaceship, and a lot of people have died since they went up into space, and so now it is of the time frame where like it's make it or break it. We are either going to die in the next 3 months, or we need to figure out how to get back to Earth and find out if Earth is usable, because we are running out of oxygen on our ship. So they send down the 100 kids who would be murdered at 18 because they did some sort of illegal act on the ship, and send them all down to Earth and find out if Earth is livable. So that is the 100 and the name of the show. So then the season and the show is about these 100 kids figuring out how to fucking survive on an Earth that has we left it for a reason, so like there's things. Such a good show. I need to start watching the new season because it's so good. Dexter, which I actually only have seen like half of the first season because I got distracted by Scandal. But really love this show. It is about this man who is a detective, but he is also a serial killer, but he actually has a conscience, and so he only kills the really bad people, like other serial killers and what have you. That's all you need to know. I don't know, it's really good, it's kind of bloody. The last show we need to talk about before we get into the Netflix originals, which is like really the important part, Breaking Bad, which is the show that you've probably heard about. It's been off for a while now, but it is the show about the guy who used to be a chemistry teacher at high school, and now he is making meth because he's dying of cancer, so he wants to pay off all of his expenses for dealing with radiation and stuff, and so he gets involved with this guy who is a meth addict. Ridiculous. And there is now a spin-off called Better Call Saul, which has 1 season on Netflix, I believe. Now we need to talk about some Netflix originals. Orange is the New Black is beautiful. So Orange is the New Black is a TV show that is original to Netflix. It is one of the first original Netflix series. It is about this girl who committed a crime 15 years ago, and she only had like 18 months before the statute of limitations ran out, and then she got caught. It's about a women's prison, and it's really good. It discusses some like really hard topics. There's a transgender woman in the prison who is actually all the way transitioned, and she is played by Laverne Cox, who is phenomenal. One thing that I really have an issue with this show is that our main character, Piper, is what you would call bisexual if you were trying to define what's happening, because she had dated a woman in the past who she was in love with, and she's currently dating a man when she goes into prison. So like obviously she's bi or pan or something, and she calls herself a former lesbian throughout the entire series, which is problematic. Ignoring this one major issue, this show is really fucking good. The next show I want to talk about is House of Cards, which Kevin Spacey is the main character, and it is about politics. It is kind of like Scandal, but better, honestly. And it is not about the scandals that happen throughout politics. It is about politics, but it also involves scandals, of course, because it's a TV show. It's all about like gaining political power, losing political power, and how to do that. The dynamic between Kevin Spacey and his wife in the show is phenomenal. The wife is played by the woman who plays the princess in Princess Bride, of all things, and such a good show. I absolutely love it. One more Netflix original that I want to talk about is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It only has one season on Netflix so far. It is a comedy. It is so fucking hilarious. The main character is played by the weird redhead in Bridesmaids. I don't know her name, and it's a fucking funny. It's about this girl who was captured when she was a young girl, and she was held, her and her sisters, which weren't really sisters, they were the girls that were captive, finally get saved when she's like 28, and so she's witnessing New York for the first time ever in her life, but also like 12 years since she's actually really seen the outside world. That is not really relevant to the story other than the fact that she's really, really naive, and so she like gets a nanny job, and so she's like nannying, but she doesn't really know how to like what real world is, like smartphones, what is that, and stuff. So it's great. Those are all of the TV shows on Netflix that I really, really recommend. I watch a lot of television. I know I don't talk about it very much on here, but I do tweet a lot about it. A ridiculous amount of time is spent watching Grey's Anatomy, and I don't feel that bad about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to follow me on all my social media, but I use Twitter and Snapchat the most. Comment down below if you've watched any of these shows. Comment down below if you watch Grey's Anatomy, because I need a Grey's person to chat about the new season with. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!